everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bharti and today I'm going to talk about a very important topic, which is how to improve your English speaking skills. Now, English is a language which has become so widespread and prevalent, it becomes imperative for us to learn a very basic skill, which is speaking in English fluently. And these days it's being used everywhere, whether it is communicating with a waiter at the restaurant or it is cracking a job interview. You'll see that most of the people have learning English as something which is in their bucket list, something that they all want to do. Why is it that still we all fail to speak in English the way we want to? Why is it that we still feel that lack of confidence when we want to address an audience or when we want to express ourselves simply? So what exactly are we doing wrong when we want to learn English, and what techniques can we use in order to be fluent English speakers? These are all the things that I'm going to discuss with you in today's video. So let's begin. So let's start off by saying that there is no magic pill to learn language. That's right. The only way that you can speak better is by speaking. So the first rule to learning effective speaking skills in English is speak, speak, and speak. Increase the input exposure that you have to the language by immersing yourself in that language. Whether you listen to the songs of that language, whether you watch TV shows, anything that you do, whether you read subtitles, whether you Google the lyrics of the songs, but it's very important that apart from listening or reading, you also speak. The more you speak, the better chances are that you will become slowly a fluent speaker. So it's important that you either find a language partner or you go to a class where you speak in English. If you are a student who's studying in an English medium school, all the more good, power to you. You're definitely going to get lots of opportunities to speak in English. However, if you are at home and you have nobody to speak English with, I have a second technique through which you can improve your English. And that is, listen to me very carefully. Record your voice into your phone and then hear it back. So when you record your own voice into your phone, just talk about random things. Talk about subjects that interest you, but try to use only and only English. Imagine that you're speaking on the mic. Play pretend like somebody is listening to you. You have an audience. And when you listen back to your own mistakes, you will be able to improve yourself better. Many a times when I hear my own recordings or when I watch my own videos, I realize where all I fumbled and where all I could have improved. This technique is definitely going to improve your English. My third strategy is going to come handy to those people who can speak very well Hindi or any other language which is their native language. However, when it comes to translating it into English, they first think in Hindi or they think in their native language and then they translate it into English. Because of that, it takes a lot of time for them to frame a sentence. So let's imagine that you just want to ask somebody, "Kahan ja rahe ho?" So you will think it in Hindi, "Kahan ja rahe ho?" And then bit by bit, piece by piece, you will be translating it into English. So where are you going? It's a very long process, and hence it takes a lot of time for them to speak. The only solution to this is think in English. This might sound absurd to you, however, this is a tried and proven formula. If you want to improve your English and if you want to become fast, you have to start thinking everything in English. Remember, all of us have a voice inside our heads that continuously thinks as we are doing our daily life mundane tasks. This voice is sometimes also telling us what to do, what not to do, or how to do something in a better way. It's always a good idea to start thinking in English. And if you're not able to do that, then start talking to yourself. And that's going to be my fourth strategy, talk to yourself. Sounds crazy, sounds funny, right? But trust me, it works. And after all, even though it makes you feel like a joker, practice is practice. And remember, how do babies learn to talk? You'll always see a 2-year-old or 3-year-old talking to themselves all the time. Remember, nature is the best way to learn. Just watch how babies learn language. They completely immerse themselves in the experience of that language. They don't care who's watching, who's listening, they just speak and they go on. This is how you are also going to learn if you want to learn. So practice and make it a habit that you think in English, and the more you think, the more you speak in English, speak to yourself, the better it will be. A very important technique to learn English is to focus on fluency and not on grammar. Now, why do I say this? Should we neglect grammar altogether and should we completely forsake it? No, that's not what I mean when I say focus first on fluency and then on grammar. What I mean to say is that even though you're grammatically incorrect, or let's say that you fumbled a little bit and you made a little bit mistake, however, all of it is forgiven because the person who is listening to you can understand what exactly are you saying, just because you are fluent. Once you are fluent, you are able to express yourself better. So, however, the important part is that you continue studying grammar side by side and you continue to improve your English alongside. You do not completely forget grammar. You continue growing your grammar skills as well, but it's important that you do not stick to the grammatical rules in isolation and you learn to first speak fluently without any stopping or breakage. Learn to speak in a flow. One very effective strategy of learning English is reading aloud. When I say read aloud, it specifically means read newspapers and which have good editorials in which you will get to learn new vocabulary and you will be able to enrich your word bank better. Also, when you read the newspaper, you will get a better idea of the context and what's happening around the world. It will not only help you improve your GK but also become more fluent speakers. When you read aloud a newspaper, I recommend that you act like a news reporter. Pretend to be a news reporter and your aim is to speak as fluently as possible. Apart from that, it also helps if you stand in front of a mirror and practice speaking for at least 2 to 3 minutes without stopping. This is also a good technique to improve your confidence. Watch your gestures, watch your voice intonation, and even the way you move your mouth as you speak. This will also help you improve your personality. And lastly, I would say, please have a habit of arguing in English. So next time you pick up a fight with your siblings, I recommend that you start fighting in English and use words of debating which are used in English. You must have seen that in order to win a debate, it's very important that you are able to come across as a fluent and effective speaker and you are able to put your thoughts across clearly. So that's going to help you. Plus, in a heated debate, you tend to become more aggressive and the nature of the activity is such that it demands more words coming out of your mouth. So it's the best way to become more fluent speakers if you start debating and fighting only and only in English. Lastly, remember to watch movies in English, listen to songs in English, make friends who would speak to you in English, and also read English books. Apart from that, you can also learn a new word every day. Look up the meaning of a word that you think is difficult in the dictionary. Try to use it within that day in more and more contexts. Don't just write down in your notebook the meaning of the word. However, also use it in many contexts so that it becomes easier for you to remember it later on. And you never know when a fancy word will pop out of your mouth and you will wonder, where did you learn it? So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you learned a bit or two about how to become better English speakers. If you like my video, please do not forget to subscribe if you are new to my channel and like my video because it motivates me. Thank you so much.